Hi everyone. Today we are going to prepare a precise, short, eye-catching and effective resume which matches the needs of job recruiters in the software development field. Let's start with a famous quote. To succeed in today's job market, you have to think of your resume as an advertisement targeted towards your future boss. We know the role of advertisement in the successful marketing of a product. Here, we are the product and our resume is the advertisement. In a recruiting procedure, the recruiters see our resume before meeting us. So, resume is the first impression we make in front of the recruiters. We all know that first impression is the best impression. Will you get a second chance to make a first impression? Never. So, it's our responsibility to make the first impression the best. Usually, when will you start writing a resume? Yes, when you are ready to apply for a job, then you will start writing the resume. Then so many questions will come to your mind. How to write the resume? What all needs to be included? What to leave out? How to make it more interesting? How to make the resume engaging? How to showcase your talents? How to update your resume to fit each job? So, I am sure and I promise you will get the answers for all these questions by the end of this session. Usually, the candidates complained like they are sending the resume to more opportunities or many job vacancies, but they are not getting a call. What's the reason behind it? Is it something wrong with their resume? Maybe. So, it's your responsibility to make your resume attractive. Before going deep into the session, let's discuss about some smart tips to make the resume stand out. Always focus on relevant information. No need to include everything about yourself. Only the relevant information. That means the information which is relevant to the job or for the job title you are applying for. Only that relevant information you need to include in your resume. Always give your accomplishments in facts and figures. You need to use the keywords with proper research. The keywords should match the job title or the job description which is given in the advertisement or in the job advertisement. Use appropriate headers. For each section in your resume, use appropriate headers. Make it easy to read. It should be free from spelling and grammar errors. Always add the social media profile. So, which social media profile you need to add? It should be a professional one. So, you can add the LinkedIn profile. Keep your resume simple and brief. In this session, we are going to discuss about a 5-part framework for a concise resume. So, these are those 5 parts: personal details frame, experience details frame, educational details frame, skill and certification frame, additional information frame. So, these are the relevant information you need to keep in your resume. Let's check what all you need to include in each of this section, and we will be discussing about all these in details in the coming slides. Just now we are just checking what all needs to be included. That's it. So here I have shown a sample resume on the right side, and you can see the highlighted part. So that highlighted part is the personal details frame. What all information you can see there? The name of the candidate, then the contact info is given there. A photo is there which is optional. If you want, you can include the photo, otherwise you can skip it. Then the key skills are given here like Python, Django, MySQL, JavaScript. Those are the key skills. Then some personal skills are also mentioned. Some professional summary is there. And one more thing to be included in this personal details frame is the professional title. If you are an experienced person, then you can give the professional title like software engineer or software tester, web designer, software developer, web developer, etc. etc. But if you are a fresher, you can just leave the professional title. The next one is the experience details frame. Check the highlighted frame here. That is the place where we can include our experience details. If you are an experienced person, you can list out your experience at this place. So in each experience details, you have to include the company name you have worked for, the time period, and your designation during that period, and also what are the responsibilities of that role, or what are the works you accomplished. Then you need to make sure that you have used the relevant keywords while you explained your work. And if you are a fresher, then if you have done any internship in any of the IT companies, you can include the internship details at this place. So while you explain about the internship details, please make sure that you have included all the relevant information regarding the projects you have done during the internship period. So while you explain about the project, give the project title and the technologies and a short description about the project, and also the technologies and the frameworks which you have used in the project. The next one is the educational details frame. So in this frame, you can give your academic and professional degree details. So the latest degree should be mentioned first. Also, you can specify the relevant training programs in software development, what you have done after your academics or along with your academics. Then the time frame of the programs are very important. Next one is the skill and certification frame. This is the most important or most attractive part of your resume. This one shows how you fit for the job. So what are your professional skills? We will be discussing about it in detail in the coming slides. But for the current understanding, you can just list out your skills like the languages you know, about the DBMS you know, then your front-end technologies. If you are proficient in front-end technologies, you can mention that. Then the deployment tools or testing tools, etc., etc. So all this will include in the professional skills. And about the certification part, if you have done any international certifications like Oracle certification in Java, like that, if you have done any international certification, then you can give the certification name along with the certification ID and the credential URL. And if you have not done any international certifications, but you can include the certifications which you took online. For example, the certifications in the sites like edX or SoloLearn, Udemy, etc. So make sure that you have done some of the certifications and online, and you can give which all certifications you have done at this part. Additional information frame. So this is where you give some additional information about yourself. So what all you can include? You can include your interest, your creative works, the languages known, then awards and recognitions, voluntary services, membership in professional organizations, etc. If you have attended any workshops or seminars which is related to your field, then you can mention that. And also in current scenario, it's very important to mention about your rankings in coding challenging sites like HackerRank or CodeSignal, CodeChef, etc. So we have just seen what all data needs to be included in each of the frame. Before going deep into each of the frames, just take a look at the desirable specification of a concise resume. Font size. What about the font size? The desirable font size is between 9 and 12. For the headings, we can give the size as 12, and for the information, we can give the size as 9 or 10. Always use a uniformity or keep a uniformity of the font. Like all the headings should be of the same size, then all the information needs to be of the same size. Avoid using fancy fonts. Use headlines for sections. Use proper margins and spacing. Optimal number of pages 1. This is in case of a fresher resume. If you are an experienced person, maybe one page won't be enough for you to present all your experience details and all. So in that case, the optimal number can be 2. Use bullet points and capitalization wherever it is needed. So when you design your resume, it is easier if you can use any resume templates. So there are many resume building sites available, and I recommend you to use this canva.com. So let's see how to design a resume in Canva. You can create a free account in Canva and just search for resumes here. Resume. And many resume templates will be listed. You can choose any of the resume templates which you are interested in, and you can work on that. Okay, you can edit the details in that resume. So let's check some resume. I just selected one. Just select one of the resumes, and you can just make it. You can just zoom it here. You can edit the details directly here itself. If you want to, you can choose your photo and apply it here. Then here you need to write your name, right? So if you write your name here, you can see that the font as well as its color, its size, all are predefined, right? Everything is predefined, so we don't have to worry about the spacing, then the font size, the alignment, everything is preset. Okay, so we can just what you can do, you can just edit the data in this resume to make it match your details. Okay, and after finishing editing your resume or making your resume, you can download it by using this link. So it's easier to use the resume templates to make your resume. Instead of writing it or instead of making it by or design it by yourself, if you are not good in designing, then it's better to use the resume templates, and it is easier to do it in canva.com. Now we can look at the details, each frame in detail. So the first one was the personal data frame. So what all information were there? The name of the candidate or your name, then the key skills, right? The contact information, the professional summary, etc. So when you write your name, highlight it like in bold letters and a little bigger size. About the key skills, the professional key skills needs to be written here. And as I told you before, if you are a professional or if you are an experienced person, write under your name, you can write your professional title like software engineer, web designer, or software tester, web developer, etc. etc. But if you are not an experienced person and if you are a fresher, you can leave that part and you can mention here any minimum 3 key skills, okay, which matches the current job description. Okay, I mean the job which you are applying for. So what all key skills can be included? Okay, so maybe you have heard about the full stack development nowadays, isn't it? So, what is a full stack development? In the full stack development, the developer should know about the front end development, about the back end development, the deployment, and the testing. So, we can think like that, and we can include the technologies. So, here you can see that the key skills mentioned that suppose this is a resume which we prepare to apply for a Python developer post. So here you can write Python Django because you know in Python developing we are using this framework the most. So I write that framework name first, Python Django. And then about the backend technology, that is the DBMS technology, that is MySQL. And you can specify the JavaScript frameworks if you know about it. Otherwise, just simply give it like JavaScript. So we can see which all key skills can be applied here in detail. So there can be a lot of programming languages, right? And so which programming languages you know that you can mention along with its framework. For example, if you are applying for the PHP developer jobs, then you can specify PHP coordinator or PHP Laravel, something like that. Or if you are applying for the Java web developer, then you can specify Java Spring. Okay, then the DBMS, which you know. So DBMS can be like MySQL or SQL. Okay, then Oracle, something like that. Then the testing tools you are proficient with, the JS framework like the React or Angular, Node, etc. Then deployment or hosting. Maybe you have done the hosting in AWS and all. Then you can specify that the unit testing tools which you have used. Okay, so it's better to specify the programming language along with its framework, then the DBMS technology you know, then the JS frameworks which you are proficient with. So try to include at least 3 key skills in the personal data frame. Next thing to be included is the personal skills. So you can there are a lot of or if you search in internet and all, you can see a list of personal skills to be included in your resume, and you can choose which matches your personality. So let's check a list of personal skills. Here the list contains a number of personal skills which we can include in our resume, and like competitive, dedicated, then task oriented, result driven, okay, result oriented, etc., passionate. So what you can which matches your personality, you can choose from this at least 3 key skills and include in your resume. Next is to specify your competencies that make you unique and fit for the job. Just write 1 or 2 sentences. An example shown here: ability to design and maintain high quality bug free code, expertise in research and propose software programs that are compatible with future technologies. So just write 1 or 2 sentences like this. The next information to be included in the personal data frame is the contact info. Here you can the photo is at this section. The photo can also be included, but it is optional. If you want, you can include it. In the contact info, make sure that you have included your primary email ID, then the phone number, and also the LinkedIn profile link. So that's about the personal data frame. Let's go to the next data frame, that is the experience data frame, experience details. So here in this slide, I have shown how to write the experience details for an experienced candidate. So if you have worked for a company, then give the company details, I mean the job details like this. You can give, if you have more than one experience, your current job should be given first. Mention your previous jobs in reverse chronological order. For each job description, give the name of the company first. Like here, it is given like Cognizant Technologies Consulting Company, Kochi. So like this, give the name of the company you have worked with, then your designation, your job role, and the time period which you have worked for. Then give the responsibilities or your work achievements in the bulleted format. So here, these are some of the responsibilities in the junior software engineer role. Like this, for each of your roles, you can specify your 4 to 5 responsibilities in the bulleted format like this. And please note that if you have worked for a company in more than one role, for example, when you joined, you have joined as a junior software engineer. After 1 year or 2 years, you have been promoted as the software engineer. Then you have worked there as the senior software engineer or the team lead like that. Then for each of the job role, you have to specify, you have to give it as different job experiences. Okay, so for each role, you have to write the responsibilities and the job description separately. For a fresher, there won't be any experience details to be furnished. In that case, you can give your internship details as your experience. So while you furnish your internship details, give that company where you have done the internship, then you can specify the title or under the job role or the intern title there and the duration which you were working as the intern. Then the list down the projects. So it is given like worked on the below listed projects. Then you can give your project name along with 1 or 2 lines of descriptions and the technologies used in the project. So highlight all the keywords which you use inside this, like Python GUI using tkinter. So that Python GUI is a keyword which we can see in the job descriptions of a Python developer. Then the tkinter, MySQL, all these things are the keywords. So always try to highlight the keywords or try to include the maximum keywords in the job in this project descriptions, and also the responsibilities while you give job responsibilities while you furnish your experience details. Next, about the education data frame. So in the education data frame, you can furnish your academic and professional details. So as we already discussed, the latest degree or the latest qualification should be given first. And here it is the education details are given here like MCA, that is a professional degree, and also this is the post graduation. So that should be given first, then your graduation details. No need to include the +2 or the SLC details like that. So it's better if you include your the professional degree first, then the undergraduate degree. Then the academic projects needs to be listed. The academic projects which you have done during your post graduation and graduation times, that can be listed. And always try to include the computer science related or the development related projects first. Okay, then also if you have done any additional training like any web development course or any courses which you have done separately, then you can furnish those details also in your education data frame. About the professional skills, so it depends on which post you are applying for, and we know that many programming languages are there. So I have just listed examples for the Python, then PHP, Java, and .NET technologies. So the first frame is for the Python professional skills. So here you can specify, and as I told you before, you need to make sure that you have included the front-end technologies, the back-end technologies, and any of the deployment tool, and also the testing tools, etc. in your professional skills summary. Okay, so which all front-end technologies you know that you can group it together, like Bootstrap, CSS3, then HTML, JavaScript, etc. You can give together. Then you give your language along with the framework. then the DBMS technologies you have mastered. Then the JavaScript frameworks like Node, React, or Angular, the deployment tool like AWS or GitHub, anything which you know, you can include that. Then if you have used the unit testing, mention that XML, JSON, etc. can also be included. So these are some of the list. So like this, you can make sure that you have included these things in your professional skills, and also highlight the web services if you have worked with it, because in most of the job descriptions you can see the web services word. And also if you have worked with any building tools like Maven and all, please mention it. Okay, so you can include all these things according to the technologies which you are proficient with. If you are applying for a Java developer, then you can include all these things like Java SC, mention the version which one you have worked with. Then these are Java's web technologies, you can give that. Then the ORM, that is object relational mapping, that also you specified here. Then the REST API, the building tool is Maven, or if you have used Ant build tool, you can use that. Then the framework is Spring Framework along with Spring Boot, we have done that. Then another framework is Struts. If you know Struts, you can include that, otherwise you can just exclude it. The unit testing thing, XML and JSON parsing, you know. The DBMS, which DBMS you have worked with, then the JS frameworks, then the deployment tool, the AWS deployment, etc. So once again, please make sure that you have included the front-end technologies, the back-end technologies, that is the programming language along with its framework and the database, and also the JS frameworks have been included in your resume. And it is better to give your rating also along with its professional skills, so it makes it clear how proficient you are in each of these skills. Next comes our certification part. So I told you in the beginning, that is, we can take international certifications in each of the technology. It is not mandatory for the freshers to take the certifications, but it proves your proficiency in that particular technology. As a fresher, if you have a Java certification or an Oracle certification or a Python certification, it is ensured that you know the technology, and it is ensured by the firm itself, like the Oracle itself or the Python Institute itself. So there is no more questions to be asked. To know about your proficiency in the technology, they just have to check your certification details. Okay, so if you have done any international certifications, you can include your international certification details. Otherwise, you can include your online certification details from the sites like Udemy or edX, etc., etc. So let's take some details about the international certifications in each of these technologies. For the Python Institutes provides a certification which is called the PCAP certification. The entry level certification is optional. We can directly go to the associate certification. So PCAP is the associate certification, and after that, if you want, you can go for the professional ones also. And you can see the more details about the certifications, its amount, its syllabus, etc. by going to this site, that is pythoninstitute.org/certification. The next one is about the Java technology. So Java certifications are provided by the Oracle University, and there are two certifications as in case of Python, associate and the professional certification. So the current certification is in Java SE 8, and you can take the upgrade certifications in Java SE 11 also. And to know more about the certification details, you visit this site, that is education.oracle.com/Oracle certification path/the family name. Okay, go to this site and you will get all the relevant information related to this certification. For the PHP technology, you can take the CENT certification. So Sun Certified Engineer is the most basic certification you can take in PHP, and the exam details as well as the certification details are mentioned here. That is cent.com training PHP certification exam. Certifications for .NET is provided by the Microsoft. So you get the details under in this website. So if you have done any of these international certifications, you may have got some badge for the certification. So you can include that badge in your resume along with the certification ID, certification name, and the credential URL. Next one, the last frame was the additional information frame. So we have seen that we can include many details under this, like the languages known, then your interest. If you are a fresher, you can give like the interest, any type of services you have done, then your achievements, awards or recognition. That can be you got any awards or recognition during your academic time, or if you are an experienced person in your previous job roles, if you are awarded like the best employee of the year or the upcoming employee of the year, like that, promising employee of the year, like that, if you got any awards and all, you can mention that. Then the references also can be included in the additional information frame. For the experienced person, the achievements data frame can include the works or the exceptional works which you have done during your job period. Like you have achieved something. Like suppose you have fixed the bugs which no one else in your team could do. So that is one of your achievement, isn't it? So fix the bugs quickly and efficiently. Then you got the chance to work on multi-week tasks, modified large existing projects, worked as part of agile development team, exposure to cloud environment, etc., etc. So achievements related to your experience can be mentioned here. If you are a fresher, then you can give the achievements like this, your achievements in coding context or challenges. So many coding websites are available now, like that Hacker Rank, Hacker Earth, etc., etc. So you can take a membership on those sites, and you can continuously practicing on that websites, and mention your ranks. Okay, the current ranks in the um, coding challenges part. There, if you have achieved in when you joined the coding context or that website, your rank was in lakhs, but now my rank is in thousands, like that. That is a great achievement. So you can specify that. Then your academic achievements, like if you are a rank holder or if you were the top in your college, like that, you can specify that. So these all shows your interest in studies and also the self improvement. Then worked as a part of team of students who created a multimedia campaign that increased student enrollment by 55%. So these are some of the, maybe you have participated in any of the uh, coding context, or as a part of your academic, you have done some projects which are helpful for the society. So you can specify all those things. Attained the Dean's Award for Excellence following distinctions in 5 languages and 3 sports. So all these are our personal achievements. So specify your personal achievements in this part. So that's all about the 5 frames which we have discussed so far. And this is a final resume template or sample resume we are presenting to you. And you can build your resume looking at this example, this sample resume. Include all the five frames, like the personal data frame, then educational, then the experience data frame, that is educational or academic data frame, then the professional skills data frame along with the certification details, then your personal data frame. So in the personal data frame, try to include only the relevant information, like your achievements, your workshops or seminars, then coding challenges, rankings, etc., etc. So that's all about for today. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you.